Stop scrolling. This audiobook will teach you how to build wealth from zero and change your life in real steps you can use today. In the next minutes, hear 10 powerful chapters covering money management, consistent savings, smart investing, rapid skill growth, starting businesses, eliminating debt, negotiation mastery, purposeful financial planning, strategic networking, and persistent daily action. Subscribe now and hit the bell to get a new audiobook every day and never miss a lesson that compounds into freedom. This channel exists to give you raw, practical guidance with no ads interrupting your focus. Stay until the end to get a proven exercise that starts you moving immediately and a clear roadmap tying every chapter together. If you want results, stop consuming noise and join the channel to start building your future today. Tap subscribe now to join thousands pursuing financial freedom every morning. Act now and transform your life forever. Chapter 1. Master money management to control and grow your income. You want control over money and the confidence to grow it from nothing into something real. This moment is the start of that process. The first move is simple and practical, and it begins with clear, honest attention to what is coming in and what is going out. The habit of tracking money is not glamorous, but it is the foundation of everything that follows. Start by recording every single expense for 30 days. Use a notebook, an app, or plain notes in your phone, and write down every purchase from the coffee to the monthly subscription. Seeing numbers on a page changes how they feel. Small leaks become visible. Patterns appear. Awareness creates control. After 30 days, sort your spending into categories: housing, food, transport, subscriptions, entertainment, and miscellaneous. Calculate the total for each category and face the reality without judgment. This is a stoic exercise in perception, not in blame. It is about knowing what is true so effective action can follow. Next, build a simple budget that serves your life and priorities rather than punishes them. The practical starting rule uses 3 clear buckets. First, pay yourself by saving a percentage of income automatically before any other spending. Second, set aside what is necessary for living expenses. Third, allocate a smaller share for flexible spending and learning. A concrete way to operate is to automate transfers the day a paycheck arrives. Create 1 savings account, 1 checking, and 1 investment or retirement account. Program automatic transfers so saving is non-negotiable. Automation removes willpower from the equation. It prevents intention from evaporating under impulse. Create an emergency fund. This is not optional. An emergency fund is simple security that lets the mind work without constant fear. Set a reachable initial goal, such as covering 1 month of essential expenses, then grow it to 3 months and then 6 months over time. Use direct deposits or recurring transfers to build this fund steadily. When money is moving towards safety, it is easier to make disciplined decisions elsewhere because worst-case scenarios are covered. Reduce unnecessary recurring costs. Subscriptions leak money quietly and habitually. Review every monthly charge and ask the single question: does this service bring measurable value? If the answer is no, cancel it. Contact providers and ask for discounts or lower plans. If a service is still valuable, for utilities, call and ask about lower rates or payment plans. For insurance, call and compare quotes. Small reductions repeated each month compound into meaningful sums. The stoic approach is to remove what is unnecessary and keep what contributes to value and stability. Address debt with a clear strategy. List all debts with interest rates, balances, and minimum payments. Decide on 1 attack method and commit. The 2 simple rules are: either pay off the smallest balance first to gain momentum, or attack the highest interest rate first to minimize total cost. Choose one and follow it. Make at least the minimum payments on everything and direct any extra money to your chosen target. Negotiating interest rates and calling lenders to request lower rates or temporary relief will often work when you ask clearly and calmly. Document each call and any agreed changes. Treat debt management as planned work, not as shameful secrecy. Increase income with deliberate skills and small experiments. If current income does not support your goals, then change the equation. Identify one skill that has market value and commit to improving it for 90 days. Choose something specific like basic bookkeeping, digital marketing, web skills, tutoring, or a trade. Spend focused time every day practicing, learning, and delivering work for real people, even if it starts at low pay. Offer services to friends, family, and local businesses and collect feedback. Real experience beats theory. Create a simple side project that can be scaled. Small, steady increases in income matter more than sporadic big wins, because they compound and build stable momentum. Invest with clarity and patience. Start with accounts that give you tax advantages like retirement plans or tax-efficient investment accounts if those exist for you. If unsure, begin with broad, simple, low-cost index funds and consistent monthly contributions. Avoid the temptation to chase hot tips or timing markets. The core habit is consistency. Dollar cost averaging reduces timing risk and builds position over time. Learn basic asset allocation principles and adjust gradually as life circumstances change. If complex choices feel overwhelming, keep it simple and prioritize regular contribution over perfect selection. Track net worth monthly. Net worth is the simple math of assets minus liabilities. Updating it once a month shows progress and reveals where effort should be focused. Use a single spreadsheet or a basic app and record balances of all accounts and debts. The number will move slowly and sometimes stall. That is part of the process. Celebrate the forward steps and analyze the stalls without drama. A steady upward trend is the true metric of long-term success. Practice deliberate spending decisions. Before any non-essential purchase, apply a short delay rule. Wait 72 hours before buying anything over a reasonable threshold. Use that time to reflect on whether the purchase aligns with long-term priorities. This delay reduces impulse buys and gives the mind space to choose. Pair this with a single question asked honestly. Will this purchase still matter in 6 months? If the answer is yes and it fits within the budget, move forward. If the answer is no, walk away. Create weekly and monthly financial rituals. On a weekly basis, spend 15 to 30 minutes reviewing recent transactions, checking savings transfers, and updating your simple spending tracker. On the first day of each month, review your budget, update categories, and set micro goals for the month. Make one decision that will move the needle, such as increasing automatic savings by a small percentage, negotiating a bill, or opening a new income experiment. Rituals build discipline and reduce the friction of decision-making so that good actions become habitual. Use simple negotiation habits in everyday financial life. When looking to buy or when renewing a service, approach conversations with clarity and calm. State the facts about your needs, ask about available options, and be prepared to walk away if value is not present. A short script is effective. Explain the situation, ask about promotions or lower plans, and confirm any changes in writing. Negotiation here is not manipulation. It is clear communication aimed at matching cost with value. Practice this skill on bills, subscriptions, and purchases. Each successful negotiation returns immediately measurable value. Adopt a stoic mindset toward money. Control what is within your power, which is your actions, habits, and choices, and accept what is beyond your control, like market fluctuations and other people's actions. When setbacks occur, focus on the next practical step. If an unexpected expense appears, assess it, shift the budget, and act. Resilience comes from preparation, small adjustments, and refusal to be consumed by fear. Train emotional responses by practicing brief daily reflections. Each evening review one financial win and one lesson. Note one concrete action you will take tomorrow. This practice keeps the mind sharp and the heart steady. Teach the habit to create momentum. Share simple financial goals with a trusted friend or partner and check in weekly. Accountability creates focus and reduces the chance of slipping. Build a learning loop by reading one short article or listening to a 10-minute podcast about money each week. Apply one idea from that content immediately, even if it is small. Action creates confidence, which makes future action more likely. Finally, commit to time and patience. Wealth is the result of repeated correct actions, not a single dramatic event. Daily disciplines compound. A small, consistent saving, a small weekly negotiation, and a steady investment contribution add up. Keep the focus on systems, not on signals. Systems are the daily routines that produce results. Signals are the noise that distracts from consistent behavior. Hold to the routine with calm persistence and measure progress monthly and annually. Begin today with the 30-day tracking challenge, the automatic transfers, and one committed income improvement action. These 3 moves are immediate and concrete. They transform confusion into clarity and vague intention into measurable motion. Practicing these steps builds confidence, reduces anxiety, and lays the foundation for larger moves such as entrepreneurship, investing, and strategic partnerships. Each decision made calmly and consistently steers reality toward freedom. This is a practical Stoic path to money mastery. Chapter 2. Save consistently to build a strong financial foundation. Saving money consistently builds a foundation that makes every other financial move calmer, clearer, and more effective. Start by deciding a simple fixed percentage of income to save each payday and treat that number as a non-negotiable obligation to yourself. Choose a starting figure that is realistic and slightly challenging, such as 10% of take-home pay, and plan to increase it gradually as habits form and income grows. Automate the transfer so the action happens without asking anything of your future willpower. When the money moves on schedule, it never becomes a temptation because it is already out of reach. Create separate accounts for distinct purposes and name them clearly so each dollar has a role. One account for short-term goals, one for medium-term security, and one for long-term wealth. Provides focus and prevents accidental spending. Use account nicknames that remind you of the outcome, like Stability Home Down Payment or Freedom Fund. Seeing these names in your app shifts how money feels from abstract numbers to concrete steps toward a life you choose. Design an automatic escalation plan that increases savings by a small, steady amount whenever pay rises or every 3 months. A realistic pattern is to raise your saving rate by 1 to 2% quarterly until it reaches an ambitious but achievable target. Treat pay increases frugally for a period by saving the majority of them, so lifestyle inflation does not erode progress. The discipline of saving raises faster than living standard increases, builds real long-term freedom. Divide savings goals into clear timelines and match them with appropriate accounts or instruments. Keep the very short-term goals in liquid, easily accessible accounts. Place medium-term goals in slightly higher-yielding accounts or short-duration savings vehicles. Put long-term retirement or wealth growth into tax-efficient investment accounts. Matching a goal to the right place reduces anxiety and increases the chance that money will be used as intended. Adopt a visible progress tracker that you update regularly. A digital chart, a simple spreadsheet, or a marked jar on the table where each saved dollar is represented gives momentum. The human mind responds to visible progress. Watching a line move upward, a bar fill or a jar get heavier, produces a small surge of confidence that fuels the next disciplined choice. Use that feeling strategically to reinforce habit. Create rules for windfalls and bonuses so they strengthen rather than weaken discipline. Decide in advance that any bonus will be divided into 3 parts for saving, investing, and reward. A practical split might be 50% to savings, 30% to investments, and 20% reserved for personal enjoyment. Pre-committing prevents splurging and turns unexpected money into sustainable advantage. Use mental accounting to protect savings from impulse and shifting desires. Label accounts for specific purposes and write short statements describing why each goal matters. When the urge to spend appears, read the goal statement and imagine the end result for 30 seconds. That pause is often enough to stop automatic consumption and return you to the plan. Emotional clarity supports discipline. Trim the obvious waste without sacrificing quality of life. Review monthly statements for items that are repeated and low value. Cancel services that deliver little benefit, downgrade plans that are overkill, and consolidate where consolidation reduces fees. When reviewing subscriptions, ask whether the money spent aligns with your priorities and whether the same or greater benefit could be obtained for less money. Keep what serves value, remove what drains it. Adopt a system for handling everyday cash flow that prevents accidental overspending. A simple rule is to keep a running balance tracker in an app and update it immediately after major purchases. Another option is to separate funds into envelopes or sub-accounts for categories such as groceries, transport, and entertainment. When money for groceries is limited to a specific envelope, the decision becomes practical rather than emotional. That constraint breeds creativity and better choices. Practice a disciplined approach to one-time purchases. For items that cost more than a week of disposable income, apply a brief cooling period and an accountability requirement. Present the intended purchase to a trusted friend or an accountability partner and explain how it fits your goals. Committing publicly adds friction to impulsive buying and turns the decision into an intentional act. Make savings effortless by changing the environment and default options. Move payment methods for non-essential spending away from quick checkout places and substitute slower methods that force a pause. Remove stored card details from frequent sites, disable one-click purchases, and keep a list of alternative activities that provide similar satisfaction without cost. Small frictions work in favor of discipline. Use high-yield accounts and simple short-term investments to make idle cash work a bit harder while staying safe. Compare rates and choose reputable institutions that offer clear terms. Laddering certificates of deposit or using staggered short-term instruments can increase returns while keeping money available when needed. The goal is not to chase marginal extra yield, but to avoid letting cash lose value through inertia. Build micro-savings habits that compound. Round up purchases and move the difference to savings. Use spare change rules that automatically gather small amounts and transfer them weekly. Commit to saving a fixed dollar amount each day or each work shift. These micro rules add up, and they are psychologically easier to keep than large dramatic commitments. The consistent habit matters far more than the size of each deposit. Create a simple monthly ritual to evaluate progress and make one decisive improvement. Spend 30 minutes reviewing how much was saved last month. Identify one small change that could increase the next month's savings and put that change into effect immediately. Rituals reduce decision fatigue and ensure steady improvement rather than sporadic effort. Protect savings from cognitive bias and temptation with pre-written rules. Decide now what to do when faced with a holiday sale raise or a social pressure to spend. Write the rule and place it where it can be read before a purchase decision. This pre-commitment technique removes on-the-spot rationalization and keeps behavior aligned with long-term aims. Teach the mind to find contentment in progress rather than consumption. Practice a daily gratitude check, focusing on possessions, experiences, and relationships rather than new purchases. When contentment increases, the need to chase happiness through consumption declines. The quality of life that comes from clarity and stability is deeper and longer lasting than the fleeting satisfaction of buying. Treat savings growth as measurable skill development. View saving each month as practice in self-control, planning, and strategic thinking. Celebrate milestones by acknowledging the skill improvement rather than by buying something expensive. Reward progress with small, meaningful experiences that do not undermine financial stability. Small rituals such as a special meal, a walk in a favorite place, or a bundled evening of rest can be powerful positive reinforcements. Design an emergency cushion plan that keeps the rest of your savings intact. Place a minimal ready cash buffer in a highly accessible account so emergencies can be handled without touching medium or long-term goals. The buffer size can be modest at first, perhaps covering a week or two of essentials, and then grow from there. Treat this buffer as a tool to prevent derailment of progress, not as the final goal. Commit to a culture of continuous improvement by learning one practical saving technique per month and applying it immediately. Read one short article, test one new app, or try a new account structure and monitor the result. Small experiments accumulate knowledge and find what works specifically for the life you lead. What succeeds for others may need to be adjusted for your situation, so test and refine. Speak about saving in ordinary conversation and model the behavior for those around you. When saving becomes a visible everyday practice rather than a secret, it gains social support and reduced shame. Explain simple rules to those close to you, describe the systems used, and invite constructive input. Community supports persistence. Start today by opening a dedicated savings account, automating a modest transfer and naming the account with a motivating end result. Set a measurable first-month target and record it publicly in a journal or app. Once the first transfer clears and the progress tracker moves, you will feel the steady lift that comes from taking a real step toward a stronger foundation. Saving consistently is not about denying life, it is about choosing which life to build and acting daily to create it. Chapter 3. Invest wisely to create long-term financial growth. Investing is the bridge between having money and creating lasting financial growth. It is where the foundation you have built through saving and disciplined money management begins to work actively for you. The first principle of investing is understanding that time is your greatest ally. Money invested wisely today has the potential to grow exponentially over years or decades, far beyond what any short-term effort can achieve. The key is not to chase fast gains, but to develop a consistent strategy and stick with it patiently. Start by understanding your goals and the time horizon for each. Long-term growth investments differ from short-term needs, and clarity in purpose prevents impulsive decisions. Define what you are investing for: retirement, property, business expansion, or financial independence. The clearer the purpose, the easier it is to choose suitable investment vehicles and maintain discipline during inevitable market fluctuations. Treat investing as a deliberate process, not a gamble. Educate yourself on the different types of investment options available. Stocks provide ownership in companies and potential for high growth, but carry volatility. Bonds offer relative stability and fixed income. Mutual funds and index funds diversify investments across many assets, reducing individual risk. Real estate creates tangible assets with potential cash flow and appreciation. Digital assets, commodities, and small business ventures are other possibilities, each with unique risk profiles and learning requirements. Begin with the options that are simple and accessible, then gradually expand as understanding deepens. Diversification is essential for long-term growth. Avoid placing all your capital into a single asset class or investment. Instead, spread investments across multiple categories that behave differently under market conditions. Diversification reduces the risk of catastrophic losses while allowing steady progress. Review the allocations periodically, adjusting as personal circumstances and market conditions change, but avoid overreacting to short-term market movements. Discipline and patience outweigh frantic attempts to time the market. Investing is not only about choosing assets, but about mindset. Accept that fluctuations are natural and unavoidable. Markets rise and fall, and the real measure of success is consistent contributions and long-term perspective. Avoid panic selling when values drop, and resist overconfidence when returns spike. Emotional control is a vital skill for any investor. Write down a simple set of rules to guide decisions during volatility and commit to following them. This creates a framework that prevents impulse actions. Start with small, manageable amounts if experience is limited. The act of investing itself teaches more than theory. Begin with a simple brokerage or investment platform that allows recurring contributions. Treat the process as an ongoing habit rather than a one-time event. Even modest, regular contributions build significant growth over time through compounding. As confidence and knowledge increase, gradually increase the amounts invested while maintaining balance across assets. Leverage automation to reinforce discipline. Set up automatic monthly transfers to investment accounts so contributions happen without active thought. Automation prevents procrastination and ensures steady growth. Pair this with regular reviews every few months to adjust allocations or increase contributions. This system reduces decision fatigue while keeping investments aligned with evolving goals. Automation converts intentions into results without relying solely on willpower. Understand the impact of fees and taxes. High management fees or frequent trading can erode returns over time. Choose low-cost investment options where possible and be mindful of tax advantage accounts. Learn basic tax rules related to dividends, capital gains, and retirement accounts. Simple awareness and strategic planning in this area can save substantial sums over the long term. Small differences compound significantly when left to accumulate. Research and due diligence are critical. Before committing to any investment, gather data about performance, risk factors, and expected returns. Compare multiple options and understand potential downsides. Avoid decisions based solely on recommendations, hype, or short-term trends. Developing the habit of careful evaluation protects capital and fosters confidence in decision-making. Even minimal research done consistently compounds into superior long-term outcomes. Patience is non-negotiable. Investments need time to mature. Resist the temptation to frequently buy and sell in pursuit of quick profits. Each transaction carries potential cost and risk. A slow and steady approach outperforms aggressive speculation for most individuals. Track performance periodically, but avoid obsessing over daily fluctuations. The natural cycles of growth require calm and consistency to realize full potential. Consider using simple investment formulas to maintain focus. Allocate a percentage of total capital to equities, bonds, and other instruments based on your risk tolerance and goals. Keep this allocation steady and rebalance periodically to maintain desired proportions. Avoid frequent changes driven by short-term emotion or media influence. Systematic rebalancing reinforces stability and ensures that your investment strategy remains aligned with long-term objectives. Education is ongoing. Dedicate time each week to read articles, listen to podcasts, or study books about investing. Apply one new idea at a time rather than overwhelming yourself. Real learning comes from combining knowledge with practical experience. Over time, this builds intuition and confidence, allowing for smarter decision-making and reduced fear of unknowns. Small, consistent learning compounds, just like money invested over decades. Adopt a long-term view of wealth creation. Avoid seeking immediate gratification from investments. Focus on building a portfolio that can withstand economic cycles, inflation, and unexpected events. Long-term thinking reduces stress and prevents rash decisions that could undo years of progress. Visualize the outcome of disciplined investing decades ahead to strengthen commitment to daily practices. Protect investments through risk management. Use tools like asset allocation, diversification, and insurance where appropriate. Consider a portion of capital in highly liquid assets for unexpected opportunities or emergencies. Having a buffer prevents forced selling at inopportune times and preserves the growth trajectory. Risk awareness paired with calculated action reduces anxiety and increases confidence in decisions. Track progress with measurable metrics. Maintain a simple record of contributions, returns, and overall portfolio growth. Seeing trends over months and years demonstrates progress tangibly and motivates continued effort. Compare results to goals regularly to identify areas for improvement. Tracking is both practical and psychological, reinforcing the habit of proactive financial management. Avoid overcomplication. Simple strategies executed consistently outperform complex schemes poorly implemented. Focus on basic principles, invest regularly, diversify, minimize fees, maintain discipline, and let compounding work. Complexity often creates paralysis and unnecessary stress. Clarity and simplicity amplify results while keeping the process manageable and sustainable. Leverage the compounding effect. Reinvest dividends, interest, and gains rather than consuming them. Compounding turns modest regular contributions into significant wealth over time. Understand that each dollar invested now grows exponentially when left to accumulate. Consistency is far more important than attempting to predict peaks and valleys. Each reinvested return accelerates growth silently and reliably. Build resilience against external noise. Ignore social pressure, market hype, and sensationalist news. Focus on your strategy and goals. React only to significant information that affects long-term planning. Protecting mental space allows better judgment and prevents emotional decisions that can reduce wealth accumulation. Start investing today. Even if the initial amount is small, begin now to harness the power of compounding and habit formation. Taking no action guarantees zero growth, while even modest steps create momentum. The combination of education, discipline, and patient action sets the foundation for financial security and freedom. Each decision made now compounds into real advantage in the future. Investing wisely is about clarity, patience, and consistent action. It is a daily practice of discipline, evaluation, and learning. By focusing on long-term growth, making informed decisions, managing risk, and reinforcing habits, wealth becomes not just a goal but a natural outcome of deliberate effort. Every step taken today builds momentum for tomorrow, creating security, freedom, and the capacity to live life on your terms. Chapter 4. Increase earning potential by developing valuable skills rapidly. Increasing earning potential begins with identifying skills that have real-world value and mastering them quickly and deliberately. The world rewards capability, not intention, so developing the ability to produce results that others need is the fastest route to financial growth. Begin by listing skills that are currently in demand and align with your interests or strengths. These can range from technical abilities like coding, digital marketing, and data analysis to interpersonal skills such as negotiation, sales, leadership, or communication. Focus on skills that can generate measurable results or income because practical utility drives earning potential faster than theoretical knowledge. Once a target skill is identified, break it down into smaller, achievable components. For instance, if you choose digital marketing, start with one branch such as social media advertising or search engine optimization. Commit to learning this component fully before moving to the next. A focused approach prevents overwhelm and accelerates competence. Dedicate specific hours daily to concentrated practice using real tools and platforms. Consistency matters far more than occasional marathon study sessions because repeated small actions create muscle memory and proficiency. Pair learning with immediate application. Theory alone has limited value until it produces results in the real world. Begin offering services, building projects, or completing small gigs that require the skill. For example, someone learning basic web development could build a simple website for a local business or a friend. This creates practical experience and builds confidence while producing tangible work that can be showcased to future clients or employers. Real-life practice accelerates mastery and makes learning meaningful. Seek feedback from experienced practitioners. Constructive critique helps identify blind spots and accelerates improvement. Join communities, forums, or mentorship programs where skillful individuals provide guidance. Listening and adjusting based on external input speeds growth and prevents wasted effort on ineffective approaches. Feedback loops are the engine of skill acceleration. Invest in resources that maximize learning efficiency. Books, online courses, tutorials, and software tools can shorten the path to competence. Prioritize resources with proven outcomes and actionable content rather than vague or motivational material. Structure your learning like a mini curriculum, progressing step by step while tracking achievements. This creates measurable progress and maintains momentum. Set small milestones to gauge improvement. Define clear markers of progress such as completing a project, landing a first client, or mastering a new technique. Each milestone provides psychological reinforcement and ensures learning translates into tangible ability. Keep a log of daily or weekly achievements to maintain motivation and clarity on your journey. A real-life example illustrates this process. Consider a person with no prior experience in graphic design. They identify the skill as high demand and break it into learning software tools, understanding design principles, and building a portfolio. Each week they focus on one element, practice daily, and complete small client projects. Gradually increasing complexity, within a few months, they transition from beginner to earning clients consistently. The structured practice, application, and feedback loop made rapid skill development possible. Adopt deliberate practice techniques. Focus on weaknesses intentionally, repeat exercises with variation, and challenge yourself beyond comfort zones. For instance, if learning sales, role-play challenging scenarios repeatedly until responses become natural. Deliberate practice is uncomfortable but necessary for rapid skill acquisition. Avoid merely doing what you already know. Growth occurs in areas of difficulty. Track the value of the skill in terms of income potential. Assign a target rate for projects, consulting, or freelance work and adjust as proficiency grows. Knowing how much the skill can earn increases motivation and encourages strategic effort allocation. It also helps prioritize which skills to invest time in and which to phase out if the returns are insufficient. Network strategically to leverage the skill for financial gain. Connect with individuals or organizations who need what you offer. Present your skill confidently and demonstrate results through past projects. Networking opens doors that pure skill alone cannot, creating opportunities to monetize rapidly. Approach relationships with a mindset of mutual benefit, showing value first to gain trust and collaboration. Practice continuous improvement, even after achieving competence. Refine and expand the skill. Follow industry trends, adopt new methods, and integrate complementary skills. For example, someone proficient in coding can expand to mobile app development or user experience design to increase marketability. Skills evolve, and maintaining relevance ensures sustained earning potential. One practical exercise to accelerate skill development is the 30-day mastery challenge. Identify a single high-value skill, commit to 2 focused hours daily, complete at least 1 real-world project per week, and seek feedback from a knowledgeable peer. Document progress each day, reflecting on improvements and obstacles. By the end of the month, the skill should be at a functional level that allows monetization or practical application. This practice forces discipline, accountability, and results-oriented learning. Measure success quantitatively and qualitatively. Track income generated, tasks completed, and efficiency gained through the skill. Assess personal confidence and ability to apply the skill under pressure. Both metrics matter because technical proficiency without confidence limits opportunity, while confidence without competence reduces credibility. Balance both to maximize earning potential. Understand that market demand fluctuates. Regularly reassess the relevance of skills and adapt accordingly. High-value skills today may evolve or decline, so maintain flexibility and a learning mindset. Being proactive rather than reactive ensures sustained growth and prevents stagnation. Time management is critical. Prioritize skill development over low-value activities. Block specific hours free from distraction for focused practice. Remove activities that provide temporary pleasure but do not contribute to earning potential. The more disciplined and intentional the schedule, the faster results emerge. Pair skill development with personal branding. Showcase expertise through online profiles, portfolios, social media, or simple case studies. Visibility increases opportunities and attracts clients, employers, and collaborators. The combination of skill and perceived competence creates leverage for higher income. Finally, embrace persistence and resilience. Rapid skill development can feel uncomfortable, progress may seem slow initially, and failures are inevitable. Treat setbacks as learning opportunities rather than discouragement. Each iteration of practice, feedback, and application compounds knowledge, experience, and earning potential. The trajectory accelerates for those who persist through discomfort. By following this approach, a person can transform a single skill from zero experience to a marketable income-generating ability within a few months. The focus on deliberate practice, application, feedback, and visibility creates measurable financial growth. Over time, the compounding effect of multiple skills, continuous improvement, and strategic networking can significantly increase earning potential. Success is not a matter of luck, but consistent, structured effort toward acquiring and applying valuable skills in the real world. Chapter 5. Start businesses that generate multiple streams of income. Building wealth through multiple streams of income begins with understanding that relying on a single source of money is inherently risky and limits growth. Creating businesses, even small ones, that generate recurring revenue builds security and accelerates financial freedom. Start by identifying opportunities where you can provide value consistently. Look for gaps in the market, unmet needs, or services that can be scaled with minimal extra effort. The goal is to generate income that continues to flow without requiring constant supervision, creating leverage for time and resources. Begin with one primary venture that aligns with your skills and market demand. Conduct simple research to ensure that people are willing to pay for your product or service. Start small with minimal investment to validate the idea. For example, if you notice a local need for affordable graphic design for small businesses, start by offering your services to 2 or 3 clients while perfecting your processes. Early success proves viability, reduces risk, and builds confidence. Once the initial business is operational, reinvest profits to expand reach or add complementary income streams. These streams should either serve the same audience or leverage existing skills, tools, or systems. For instance, if your primary business is web design, a complementary stream could be offering website maintenance packages or creating digital templates for sale. This approach multiplies revenue without requiring entirely new skill sets. Diversification across businesses reduces vulnerability. Relying on one client type, one market, or one platform is a fragile structure. Spread your efforts across different areas with high potential returns, but maintain focus to avoid dilution of effort. Each business should have clear objectives and manageable systems to operate independently or with minimal oversight. The more businesses generate income simultaneously, the faster you can scale and protect against economic shifts. Automation and delegation are essential for managing multiple streams. Systems that handle recurring tasks like billing, client communication, scheduling, or inventory management free time for strategic growth. Tools, apps, and software can replace repetitive labor while outsourcing specific tasks to freelancers or virtual assistants reduces bottlenecks. Effective delegation does not require large teams. Even a few well-chosen supports can significantly expand capacity. Create a practice to accelerate progress. The 30-day micro-business challenge. Identify one skill, product, or service you can monetize quickly. Develop a simple plan, reach out to potential clients, and aim to generate at least one paying customer within 30 days. Document each step, track responses, and adjust your approach based on results. The exercise emphasizes speed, learning through doing, and producing tangible revenue in a short time. Consider the real-life example of Sarah, who began with freelance writing. Initially, she offered services to local businesses and online clients, earning modest income. Instead of relying solely on one client, she started creating digital products, including ebooks and templates related to writing and marketing. She also launched a small membership site offering monthly resources and coaching. Within a year, Sarah had 4 distinct income streams: client projects, digital products, memberships, and affiliate revenue from tools she recommended. Each stream reinforced the others and collectively produced a substantial increase in earnings. Identify income streams that can scale without requiring proportional time investment. Digital products, subscriptions, affiliate partnerships, and automated services allow for growth without linear increases in effort. Physical businesses often require more time, but can be optimized through efficient processes. The key principle is to design streams that complement each other while allowing some income to grow passively. Use a testing and iteration approach. Not every business or income stream will succeed immediately. Test ideas quickly with minimal risk, evaluate results, and adapt or pivot when necessary. Small failures provide valuable lessons and prevent larger losses. The iterative process accelerates learning and identifies the most profitable avenues for continued investment of time and resources. Marketing is critical for multiple income streams. Without visibility, even the best products or services will not generate sustainable revenue. Leverage low-cost channels initially, such as social media, networking, email campaigns, and collaborations with complementary businesses. Track which methods produce tangible results and refine your approach to maximize reach and return on investment. Strategic promotion is a force multiplier for earning potential. Maintain financial clarity across businesses. Keep separate records and accounts for each income stream to monitor profitability, identify areas for improvement. Understanding which streams are most efficient allows better allocation of resources and faster decision-making. Clear financial tracking prevents confusion and ensures that growth is measured and actionable. Invest in building skills that support multiple businesses simultaneously. Leadership, negotiation, marketing, and financial management are examples of abilities that increase efficiency and effectiveness across ventures. By improving these foundational skills, you enhance the potential of all current and future income streams. Skill development compounds as new streams are launched. Leverage existing assets and networks to expand opportunities. Previous clients, personal contacts, or audience reach can provide initial traction for new businesses. Offer related products or services to an existing customer base to reduce acquisition costs and generate immediate revenue. Building on proven relationships accelerates growth and increases the likelihood of success. Adopt a disciplined approach to prioritizing effort. Focus on high-leverage tasks that have the greatest impact on revenue. Routine administration or low-value activities should be systematized or delegated. Time is finite, so directing it toward tasks that move multiple income streams forward is crucial for exponential growth. Protect businesses through risk management. Understand legal, financial, and operational risks for each venture. Create basic contracts. Secure intellectual property and maintain simple insurance coverage where applicable. Preparedness prevents setbacks from disrupting multiple income streams and safeguards accumulated progress. Measure success not only by revenue but by stability and sustainability. Track growth, client retention, cash flow, and time investment. Evaluate which businesses are scalable, which require adjustment, and which may be phased out. Focus on long-term viability rather than short-term gains. Commit to continuous learning and adaptation. Market demands change, technologies evolve, and new opportunities emerge. Stay informed and flexible, adopting innovations that enhance efficiency or expand reach. A mindset of constant improvement keeps income streams relevant and competitive. Cultivate resilience and persistence. Launching and managing multiple businesses simultaneously can be challenging, with obstacles and setbacks inevitable. Treat each challenge as a learning opportunity, maintaining focus on long-term objectives. Consistency and determination multiply the impact of every decision and effort. By starting small, focusing on value, scaling strategically, and building systems that support multiple income streams, wealth creation becomes a structured and achievable process. Each stream reinforces the others, creating security, freedom, and the ability to grow exponentially over time. Individuals who adopt this approach transform effort into leverage, discipline into stability, and opportunity into real financial independence. Chapter 6. Eliminate debt to free resources for wealth creation. Debt is one of the biggest obstacles to building wealth because it consumes resources that could otherwise be used for saving, investing, or creating new opportunities. Eliminating debt is not simply about reducing numbers on a statement. It is about freeing your energy, focus, and financial potential so you can direct them toward building lasting wealth. The first step is understanding the total picture. List every obligation, including credit cards, personal loans, student loans, or any recurring liabilities. Knowing exactly what you owe, to whom, and at what interest rate is critical for creating an effective repayment strategy. Once you have a clear picture, Prioritize debts based on their interest rates and impact on your cash flow. High-interest debts like credit cards or payday loans drain money rapidly and should be tackled first. While smaller debts can be satisfying to eliminate quickly, focusing on interest-heavy debts saves more money over time and accelerates freedom. Consider consolidating multiple debts into one lower-interest option if it reduces complexity and total interest paid. Simplicity allows better control and reduces mistakes. Create a strict budget that allocates a fixed portion of income to debt repayment while still maintaining essential living costs. Track every expense, cutting unnecessary spending and redirecting that money to reduce obligations faster. Even small adjustments, preparing meals at home, delaying luxury purchases, negotiating recurring bills, can accelerate progress significantly. Each dollar applied to high-interest debt directly improves your financial position and accelerates wealth creation. A practical exercise is the Debt Snowball Challenge. List debts from smallest to largest and commit to paying the minimum on all but the smallest. Direct all extra funds to eliminating the smallest debt first. Once it is gone, move that same payment amount to the next smallest debt, creating a snowball effect. The psychological boost from seeing debts disappear accelerates motivation and encourages persistence. Understand the role of discipline in eliminating debt. Avoid acquiring new liabilities during repayment by adopting a strict rule of only purchasing what you can afford without borrowing. Resisting social pressures and advertising requires mental toughness, but it is essential to redirect your money toward freedom. Avoiding new debt while paying off old debt creates a virtuous cycle that compounds over time. Use additional income strategically. Bonuses, freelance work, overtime, or side projects should be applied to debt rather than discretionary spending. Extra effort accelerates elimination and reduces interest accumulation. By channeling all additional funds to debt repayment, what could have been consumed instead becomes an investment in future freedom. Consider the real-life example of Daniel, who had credit card debt, a car loan, and a small personal loan totaling over $15,000. He listed all debts, prioritized by interest rate, and implemented a strict budget. Each month he paid minimums on low-interest debts and funneled every extra dollar toward the highest interest card. He also took on weekend freelance projects. Within 2 years, all debts were cleared, and the funds previously spent on interest were redirected towards savings and investing. The transformation created not only financial freedom, but also confidence and discipline that continued into wealth creation. Automate payments where possible to ensure no missed obligations, avoiding late fees and additional interest. Setting up automatic transfers aligns with disciplined behavior and reduces mental load. Regularly review statements to verify accurate payments and track progress. Automation converts intention into action without relying on constant decision-making. Negotiate with creditors if possible. Many lenders are willing to lower interest rates, offer temporary relief, or restructure payment plans when approached responsibly. A reduction in interest can dramatically shorten repayment periods and reduce the total cost of debt. Communication and assertiveness are practical tools for accelerating elimination. Avoid emotional spending, which often fuels debt accumulation. Identify triggers such as stress, boredom, or social comparison, and replace them with productive alternatives. Journaling, exercise, or skill-building activities can redirect energy away from impulsive purchases. Emotional regulation directly impacts financial outcomes, reinforcing the connection between mindset and wealth building. Visualize the freed resources after debt elimination. Estimate how much money previously spent on interest and minimum payments can now be directed towards savings, investments, or business ventures. Turning abstract numbers into concrete future opportunities increases motivation and clarity. Each freed dollar represents potential growth, leverage, and freedom. Commit to regular monitoring and accountability. Track payments, remaining balances, and months to elimination. Consider sharing goals with a trusted friend or mentor to enhance accountability. The act of publicly committing to debt freedom strengthens resolve and increases likelihood of consistent action. Use setbacks as learning opportunities rather than reasons to quit. Unexpected expenses or temporary financial disruptions should be managed without abandoning the repayment plan. Maintain an emergency buffer to prevent reliance on additional borrowing. Resilience and planning ensure long-term success despite challenges. Adopt a minimalist mindset toward material consumption until debts are cleared. Focus on value and utility rather than appearances or social pressures. Each unnecessary purchase delays financial freedom. A conscious approach to spending reallocates resources toward wealth-building priorities, creating momentum for future opportunities. Track interest savings to reinforce behavior. Each month, calculate how much would have been spent if minimum payments were not supplemented. Seeing the tangible benefit of extra effort reinforces commitment and makes the process less abstract. Financial clarity strengthens discipline. Celebrate milestones meaningfully but without financial setback. For example, mark the elimination of a significant debt with a small low-cost ritual like a special dinner or experience rather than a luxury purchase. Recognition of progress fuels motivation while keeping momentum intact. Develop alternative income streams that supplement repayment. Side projects, part-time work, or monetizing a skill can accelerate elimination. The faster debts are removed, the sooner capital is freed for investment and wealth creation. Multiple income sources also reduce dependence on a single paycheck, enhancing resilience. Educate yourself about interest, loan structures, and repayment strategies. Understanding how debt compounds and affects net worth enhances decision-making. Knowledge transforms fear or frustration into actionable insight, allowing proactive management rather than reactive stress. Eliminating debt is more than financial, it is psychological. Freedom from owing money changes mindset, reduces stress, and increases confidence in taking calculated financial risks. The discipline developed during repayment carries forward into savings, investing, and business creation. Once debts are eliminated, immediately redirect all freed resources toward wealth creation. Do not revert to prior consumption habits. Allocate funds strategically into savings, investments, and income-generating activities to accelerate financial growth. The same discipline that eliminated debt now becomes the engine for building wealth. By understanding obligations, prioritizing repayment, maintaining discipline, seeking opportunities for extra contributions, and leveraging psychological momentum, debt can be eliminated efficiently. The process frees not only money but also time, energy, and mental clarity. The result is a foundation upon which wealth can be built rapidly and sustainably. Debt elimination transforms financial potential into actionable resources and creates the freedom to pursue strategic growth opportunities. Chapter 7. Negotiate effectively to maximize profits and opportunities daily. Negotiation is one of the most powerful skills you can develop to increase income, secure opportunities, and create leverage in every area of life. It is not just about asking for more money or discounts, it is about understanding value, influence, and psychology so that both parties feel they benefit while maximizing your advantage. Effective negotiation requires preparation, confidence, clarity, and the ability to communicate persuasively without being aggressive. Each interaction where negotiation is applied can generate tangible financial or strategic gains, and mastery compounds over time, multiplying opportunities that others miss. The first step in negotiation is preparation. Know exactly what you want, why you want it, and the minimum acceptable outcome. Research the other party's position, constraints, and motivations. Understanding their perspective allows you to present proposals that align with mutual benefit while achieving your objectives. Preparation also includes gathering relevant data such as market rates, competitor benchmarks, or performance metrics. Knowledge is power, and walking into a negotiation blind often leads to accepting less than you deserve. Confidence is a non-negotiable element. Approach every negotiation with certainty in your value. This does not mean arrogance, but an unwavering belief in the benefits you provide or the fairness of your request. Confidence influences perception, and people are more likely to agree to terms when they perceive the other party as competent and self-assured. Practicing clear and calm communication strengthens confidence and ensures ideas are conveyed convincingly. Listening is as important as speaking. Active listening allows you to identify hidden needs, pain points, or motivations of the other party. These insights provide leverage, as you can tailor proposals to address their priorities while maximizing your advantage. Asking open-ended questions and encouraging dialogue often uncovers information that is not immediately obvious, giving you an edge that cannot be gained through assertiveness alone. Timing matters. Choose the right moment to make requests or concessions. Pressing too early or at a point of high stress reduces receptivity, while waiting for a moment when the other party is more receptive can increase success. Patience combined with strategic timing often results in outcomes far superior to rushed negotiations. Recognizing cues and adjusting accordingly demonstrates emotional intelligence and professionalism. A practical exercise to improve negotiation skills is the Daily Value Exchange Challenge. Each day, identify one situation where you can negotiate better terms. This could be a service, a purchase, or even responsibilities at work. Prepare a short plan, execute the negotiation with clarity, and reflect on the outcome. Track improvements and lessons learned over 30 days to develop instinctive negotiation skills through consistent practice. Real-life examples illustrate the power of effective negotiation. Consider Alex, who worked in sales and routinely accepted the standard commission structure. After studying negotiation strategies, he began presenting evidence of his consistent high performance, highlighting the revenue he brought to the company and proposing a higher commission rate. By demonstrating value and using data as leverage, Alex successfully negotiated a 25% increase in his earnings. His confidence and preparation were key to achieving results that would have been unattainable without negotiation. Framing proposals effectively influences outcomes. Present your requests in terms of benefits for both sides, rather than focusing solely on personal gain. For example, when negotiating a contract with a client, highlight how your terms will result in better service, faster delivery, or reduced risk for them. This approach shifts the perception from confrontation to collaboration and increases the likelihood of agreement. Understand the power of concessions. Negotiation is rarely a zero-sum game. Strategic concessions, offering something small in return for larger gains, create goodwill and facilitate agreements. The key is to plan concessions in advance and ensure they are structured to extract maximum value in return. Avoid giving in impulsively, as unplanned concessions often weaken your position. Leverage alternatives to strengthen bargaining power. Knowing your options and being willing to walk away creates leverage. When the other party realizes you have viable alternatives, they are more likely to agree to favorable terms. This is why preparation and market knowledge are essential. Understanding what you can do if negotiations fail reduces desperation and increases assertiveness. Nonverbal communication matters. Body language, tone, and posture convey confidence and professionalism. Maintaining eye contact, using steady vocal tones, and controlling gestures can influence perception and make proposals more persuasive. Awareness of nonverbal cues from the other party also provides insight into their receptivity and concerns, allowing for strategic adjustments in real time. Documenting agreements prevents misunderstandings and reinforces commitment. Summarize terms clearly and confirm them in writing when possible. This protects both parties and ensures accountability. Written agreements also provide a reference for future interactions and create a framework of trust that can be leveraged in ongoing negotiations. Develop resilience against rejection. Not every negotiation will succeed, and rejection is not a reflection of personal inadequacy. Each unsuccessful attempt provides data for learning what approaches work, what language resonates, and what adjustments are necessary. Treat each experience as practice for improvement rather than a setback. Persistence and iterative refinement are essential for long-term mastery. Focus on value creation. Negotiation is more effective when the discussion emphasizes the value you provide rather than just the price or compensation. Clearly articulate results, quality and benefits in measurable terms. When the other party perceives high value, they are more likely to accept terms that favor you. Always tie proposals to tangible outcomes to reinforce legitimacy and fairness. Use silence strategically. Pausing after presenting a proposal can create pressure for the other party to respond favorably. People naturally fill silence with concessions, clarifications, or agreement. Timing silence and combining it with confident posture and eye contact amplifies influence without appearing aggressive. Negotiation is a daily skill. Opportunities arise in professional, personal, and financial contexts. Each interaction where terms, responsibilities, or compensation can be improved is a chance to practice. Regularly applying negotiation principles creates automaticity, making it a natural response rather than a stressful event. Measure results and reflect consistently. After each negotiation, review outcomes, strategies used, and emotional management. Identify successful tactics and areas for improvement. Continuous reflection transforms ordinary transactions into deliberate practice, steadily improving effectiveness and financial gains. Negotiating effectively creates leverage that multiplies earning potential. By consistently applying preparation, research, active listening, clear communication, strategic concessions, and timing, you maximize outcomes and minimize wasted effort. The skill not only increases profits, but also builds confidence, influence, and professional respect. Over time, mastery of negotiation becomes a force that compounds across every aspect of wealth creation and opportunity acquisition. Approach each negotiation with discipline, strategy, and clarity. Treat it as a structured process that produces measurable results. By doing so, each interaction becomes a stepping stone toward higher income, stronger opportunities, and accelerated financial growth. Consistency in this practice transforms daily interactions into a powerful engine for wealth building, influence, and long-term success. Chapter 8. Plan financial goals to achieve wealth with purpose. Achieving wealth with purpose begins with clear financial planning that defines exactly what you want to accomplish and the steps necessary to get there. Without a roadmap, income, savings, and investments can drift aimlessly, creating temporary comfort but no long-term results. Planning financial goals requires clarity about both the destination and the process, understanding what wealth means personally, and designing actionable steps that transform vision into reality. Begin by setting specific objectives, such as accumulating a certain amount of savings, acquiring income-generating assets, or creating multiple revenue streams. Vague desires like "I want to be rich" lack the focus needed to create measurable results. Break each goal into smaller, actionable milestones. Large objectives can feel overwhelming, but dividing them into monthly, quarterly, or yearly targets makes progress manageable and trackable. For instance, if the goal is to save $20,000 in 2 years, calculate how much must be saved each month. Identify sources of income and determine where expenses can be reduced. Each small win builds momentum and confidence, turning abstract aspirations into tangible achievements. A practical exercise to sharpen goal planning is the 90-day Financial Clarity Challenge. Write down 3 measurable financial goals and outline specific daily and weekly actions that directly contribute to these objectives. Track progress daily, adjusting strategies based on results. By the end of 90 days, clarity and consistent action reinforce habits that compound over time, creating measurable steps toward wealth accumulation. Real-life examples demonstrate the power of purposeful planning. Consider Maria, who desired to create financial independence within 5 years. She calculated the income required, identified savings and investment strategies, and established a business to generate supplemental revenue. Each year she reviewed progress, adjusted budgets, and reinvested profits strategically. Within 4 years, she exceeded her initial targets and achieved the security she envisioned. Purposeful planning transformed vague ambition into structured action with measurable outcomes, aligning goals with personal values and priorities. Wealth without meaning often leads to burnout, wasted energy, or dissatisfaction. Define why each financial target matters, whether it is freedom, security, supporting family, or creating impact. When goals are aligned with values, motivation remains strong even during challenges. Understanding the deeper purpose behind financial objectives enhances focus and resilience. Prioritize goals based on impact and feasibility. Some targets may be more urgent or provide leverage for other goals. For example, eliminating high-interest debt first creates resources that can later be redirected toward investments or business ventures. Ranking objectives ensures that effort is allocated where it produces the greatest returns and accelerates the path to meaningful wealth. Document goals clearly and review them regularly. Writing down objectives makes them concrete and serves as a constant reminder of what you are working toward. Regular review, whether weekly or monthly, provides opportunities to adjust strategies, celebrate progress, and remain accountable. Documentation also reduces mental clutter and reinforces commitment to consistent action. Establish measurable indicators of progress. Wealth goals are most effective when quantifiable. Track savings, investments, debt reduction, income growth, and business performance in numeric terms. Quantification transforms abstract ambition into data-driven action, allowing precise evaluation of whether strategies are working or need modification. Metrics create accountability and highlight areas requiring focus. Develop a structured action plan that identifies key steps for each goal. Break tasks into daily habits, weekly projects, and monthly checkpoints. For instance, if a goal is to increase income, actions may include acquiring new skills, contacting potential clients, or launching a side venture. A structured approach converts goals into actionable behaviors that produce measurable results consistently. Anticipate obstacles and plan contingencies. Financial goals rarely progress without challenges. Unexpected expenses, market fluctuations, or delays in income can derail momentum if unprepared. Having contingency plans such as emergency savings, alternative income sources, or temporary budget adjustments ensures continuity and reduces stress. Anticipation allows adaptability without abandoning objectives. Invest in personal growth alongside financial planning. Skills, mindset, and discipline directly influence the ability to achieve wealth. Commit to learning financial literacy, negotiation, leadership, and decision-making strategies. Personal development amplifies the impact of your plans and ensures that opportunities are maximized effectively. Each skill acquired accelerates progress toward financial objectives. Leverage accountability networks to maintain momentum. Share goals with mentors, peers, or partners who provide guidance, encouragement, and constructive critique. Accountability increases the likelihood of follow-through, offers external perspective, and provides motivation during challenging periods. Regular updates to trusted individuals create a system of checks and reinforcement. Maintain flexibility while staying focused. Plans are guides, not rigid rules. Adapt strategies based on results, changing circumstances, or new opportunities, but remain committed to the overarching goals. Flexibility allows optimization, while focus ensures consistent progress. Balance between adaptability and persistence is key to achieving long-term wealth with purpose. Use visualization and mental rehearsal to reinforce goals. Imagine specific achievements, including steps, challenges overcome, and final outcomes. Mental rehearsal strengthens motivation, prepares for obstacles, and creates clarity on required actions. The mind responds to vivid, repeated imagery by aligning behavior toward achieving desired results. Focus on compounding actions. Small, consistent steps toward financial goals multiply over time. Saving a portion of income regularly, investing consistently, and growing revenue streams compound into significant wealth. Recognize that each action, however minor it may seem, contributes to long-term success when aligned with a structured plan. Celebrate progress strategically. Acknowledge milestones to reinforce motivation, but avoid extravagant spending that undermines goals. Even small recognition, such as noting achievements in a journal or rewarding yourself with low-cost experiences, strengthens commitment and keeps momentum alive. Positive reinforcement encourages persistence without derailing plans. Track both short-term and long-term metrics. Short-term measures maintain motivation, while long-term indicators ensure alignment with ultimate objectives. Balance attention between immediate actions and strategic vision. Without tracking both, goals can lose clarity, or progress may stall without detection. Real-life application reinforces habits. Apply structured planning to everyday financial decisions, such as budgeting, purchasing, or investing. Every choice becomes an opportunity to practice intentionality and align actions with goals. Over time, the habit of planning, monitoring, and adjusting becomes second nature, accelerating the journey toward wealth. Integrate purpose with action. Each financial decision, investment, and business endeavor should align with overarching objectives. Purpose-driven planning transforms financial activity from random spending or earning into a coherent path toward freedom, security, and personal fulfillment. Wealth becomes not just accumulation, but a tool to achieve meaningful life goals. By setting clear, measurable, and purposeful financial goals, creating structured plans, tracking progress, anticipating obstacles, and committing to consistent action, individuals transform vague ambition into tangible achievement. Purposeful planning is the foundation of wealth creation, providing clarity, direction, and momentum. Those who implement structured financial strategies consistently turn aspirations into reality, creating both security and freedom to pursue their vision of a prosperous life. Chapter 9. Network strategically to access opportunities and financial partnerships. Building wealth is not only about skills, discipline, and money management. It is also about connecting with the right people who can open doors to opportunities that would otherwise remain out of reach. Strategic networking is a critical tool for growth because it allows you to access knowledge, resources, partnerships, and markets that amplify your efforts. Networking is not about collecting business cards or social media contacts. It is about cultivating genuine relationships where mutual value is exchanged, trust is built, and collaboration becomes possible. Every interaction has the potential to create opportunities for investment, business ventures, mentorship, or professional growth, but only if approached with strategy and intent. The first step to strategic networking is clarity on objectives. Identify what you want to achieve through your connections. Are you seeking mentorship, investors, business partners, or professional opportunities? Knowing your goals allows you to focus energy on relationships that align with your vision. Random interactions have value, but intentional networking multiplies returns and reduces wasted effort. Approach networking with a mindset of giving before receiving. Offer help, share knowledge, provide introductions, or support others in tangible ways. People are more receptive when they sense you contribute value rather than just seeking benefit. Building trust and goodwill first lays the foundation for long-term relationships that will support wealth creation. Authenticity and consistency in offering value are more powerful than superficial charm or fleeting gestures. A practical exercise is the 30-day Strategic Connection Challenge. Each day, reach out to one person in your industry, community, or area of interest and offer something useful. This could be sharing an article, providing insight, introducing them to someone valuable, or offering help with a project. Track responses, follow up, and reflect on the relationships that show the most potential for mutual benefit. By the end of 30 days, you will have built meaningful connections while sharpening networking skills. Real-life examples illustrate the impact of strategic networking. Consider James, who was an entrepreneur with a small online business. He consistently engaged with other business owners, participated in forums, and attended industry events. Through these connections, he met a partner with complementary skills, and together they launched a new product line. The collaboration resulted in a substantial increase in revenue and market reach that neither could have achieved alone. The key was intentionality, consistency, and focusing on value creation within the network. Understand the power of mentorship in networking. Connecting with individuals who have already achieved what you aspire to provides insights, reduces trial and error, and accelerates learning. Seek mentors with relevant experience, approach them respectfully, and demonstrate commitment to growth. Mentorship is mutually beneficial when you show progress and dedication, enhancing credibility and increasing the likelihood of meaningful support. Diversify connections across industries and disciplines. Limiting networking to a single sector restricts perspectives and opportunities. Interacting with individuals in finance, technology, marketing, operations, or other areas exposes you to novel ideas, potential collaborations, and creative approaches to problem solving. Cross-industry connections often provide unique insights or partnerships that produce unexpected advantages. Leverage online and offline channels strategically. Attend industry conferences, local meetups, seminars, and workshops to meet individuals in person. Complement this with professional platforms like LinkedIn, specialized forums, and communities to expand reach. Maintain consistency across platforms by presenting expertise, engaging thoughtfully, and following up with meaningful communication. Visibility combined with value increases opportunities to connect with influential individuals. Effective communication is essential. Clearly articulate who you are, what you do, and what you offer. Avoid overselling or being vague. Instead, focus on succinctly conveying your expertise, achievements, and areas of collaboration. Equally important is listening actively to understand others' needs, challenges, and goals. By aligning your abilities with the other person's priorities, you create mutually beneficial partnerships rather than one-sided interactions. Follow-up is where most networking efforts fail. After initial contact, maintaining engagement solidifies relationships. Simple gestures, such as thanking someone for their time, sharing relevant resources, or updating them on progress, demonstrate reliability and sincerity. Consistent follow-up turns casual interactions into lasting relationships that can support opportunities for growth and wealth creation. Identify connectors in your network, individuals who have multiple connections and can introduce you to others with complementary skills or influence. Building relationships with connectors expands reach exponentially, allowing access to opportunities that would require significant effort to identify independently. Approach these connections thoughtfully, offering value in exchange for introductions, and ensure your intentions are clear and professional. Networking also requires patience. Relationships develop over time, and immediate results are rare. Focus on consistent engagement, trust building, and reputation management. Over months and years, small investments in relationships compound into significant advantages that accelerate career, business, or financial growth. Patience combined with strategic action produces long-term rewards. Evaluate each relationship by the potential for mutual value. Avoid purely transactional interactions or relationships that drain energy. Surround yourself with individuals who challenge, inspire, and contribute to growth. Quality outweighs quantity. Meaningful connections create more opportunities than a large but superficial network. Strategic networking is about focus, alignment, and intentional engagement. Use real-time opportunities to deepen connections, offer help during challenges, celebrate achievements, and recognize contributions. Being present and supportive strengthens bonds and positions you as a reliable, valuable partner. The perception of trustworthiness and dependability makes others more willing to collaborate, invest, or refer opportunities to you. Leverage partnerships for co-creation of value. Collaborating on projects, joint ventures, or initiatives allows both parties to benefit and creates tangible outcomes that strengthen relationships. Strategic partnerships amplify resources, knowledge, and reach. By approaching collaborations with clear roles and aligned incentives, the outcome benefits both parties and generates momentum toward financial growth. Track your network strategically. Maintain records of contacts, interactions, areas of expertise, and potential collaboration opportunities. Organized tracking ensures follow-up, identifies gaps in your network, and highlights relationships that require nurturing. Strategic management of your connections turns relationships into actionable resources for opportunities and wealth creation. Approach networking as a continuous process rather than occasional activity. Every interaction, whether at an event, online discussion, or casual conversation, is an opportunity to expand influence, demonstrate expertise, and create trust. Integrate networking into daily routines, making it habitual rather than sporadic. Regular, consistent effort compounds into significant opportunities over time. Negotiation, learning, and value exchange are intertwined with networking. As you build relationships, leverage your understanding of mutual benefit, to identify deals, partnerships, or joint ventures that generate financial or strategic gains. Networking, without applying insight into value creation, limits its potential. Combine connection with action to maximize returns. Strategic networking transforms wealth creation by providing access to resources, knowledge, mentorship, partnerships, and opportunities that individual effort alone cannot achieve. By approaching networking with intention, clarity, and value-focused engagement, relationships become a powerful multiplier for income, investments, and business growth. Those who consistently cultivate meaningful connections position themselves to accelerate results, navigate challenges, and achieve financial objectives more effectively. Consistent, disciplined, and purposeful networking converts effort into leverage. Each relationship, when nurtured with authenticity and aligned with objectives, becomes a stepping stone toward access, influence, and financial growth. Individuals who master networking strategically gain advantages, insights, and opportunities that compound over time, turning connections into tangible wealth and long-term prosperity. Chapter 10. Take persistent action every day to build lasting wealth. Building lasting wealth is not about occasional bursts of effort or waiting for the perfect opportunity. It is about relentless, consistent action every single day, regardless of circumstances, mood, or external distractions. Wealth is a product of persistence, discipline, and a commitment to continual progress. Every small step, no matter how seemingly insignificant, compounds over time, creating momentum that accelerates results. Action transforms knowledge, ideas, and plans into tangible outcomes. Without it, even the best strategies remain unrealized, and potential stays unrealized. The first step in taking persistent action is establishing daily routines that align with your financial and personal goals. Break large objectives into manageable tasks and commit to completing them consistently. Consistency is more powerful than intensity. Working steadily toward a target for a prolonged period produces more results than sporadic bursts of effort. The habit of showing up daily creates resilience, builds skill, and reinforces discipline. Set clear priorities for each day. Identify the activities that have the highest impact on your wealth creation, whether it is prospecting for clients, investing, skill development, or business operations. Focus energy on tasks that produce measurable outcomes. Avoid spending excessive time on low-impact or distracting activities. Prioritization ensures that every action moves you closer to your ultimate objectives. A practical exercise is the daily 3-action rule. Each morning, write down 3 critical actions that will contribute directly to your financial growth. Commit to completing them before allowing yourself other distractions. At the end of the day, review completion, reflect on effectiveness, and plan the next day. Repeating this consistently reinforces focus, accountability, and tangible progress over time. Real-life examples emphasize the power of persistent action. Consider Sarah, who wanted to transition from a salaried job to full-time entrepreneurship. She committed to working 2 hours each evening on developing skills, building a client base, and creating digital products. Even when progress seemed slow, she maintained the daily effort. Within a year, her small, consistent actions accumulated into a thriving business, generating revenue far exceeding her previous salary. Persistence turned incremental steps into transformative results. Understand that obstacles and setbacks are inevitable. Persistent action does not mean a life without challenges. It means continuing despite them. Rejection, failure, or temporary setbacks are part of the process. Treat them as data points for learning rather than reasons to stop. Each obstacle faced and overcome strengthens resilience and refines strategy. Time management is essential. Protect blocks of time dedicated to wealth-building activities. Reduce distractions, delegate low-value tasks, and maintain focus during key periods. Regular, uninterrupted effort accelerates progress and ensures that every day contributes meaningfully toward long-term goals. Accountability strengthens persistence. Share daily or weekly goals with a mentor, peer, or accountability partner who can monitor progress and provide feedback. External accountability increases the likelihood of follow-through, reduces procrastination, and reinforces habits that compound over time. Leverage incremental improvement. Focus on getting slightly better each day rather than seeking perfection immediately. Small, consistent enhancements in skills, productivity, or strategy accumulate into significant advancement. The principle of continuous improvement ensures that persistent action becomes increasingly effective over time. Track progress consistently. Maintain records of daily actions, achievements, and lessons learned. Reflect regularly on what works, what does not, and adjust strategies accordingly. Objective tracking transforms routine effort into a guided, optimized process that maximizes results. Develop mental toughness to sustain long-term persistence. Discipline, focus, and the ability to endure discomfort separate those who achieve wealth from those who do not. Daily action often requires pushing past fatigue, distractions, or emotional resistance. Strengthening mental resilience ensures that effort remains unwavering even in challenging circumstances. Celebrate small wins strategically. Acknowledge milestones to reinforce motivation, but avoid behaviors that derail momentum. Recognition of progress strengthens commitment and fuels consistent effort, creating a psychological feedback loop that encourages continued action. Invest in skill development daily. Whether learning new financial strategies, technical skills, or business tactics, continuous improvement enhances the quality and impact of every action. Persistent learning amplifies the effectiveness of effort and increases potential returns. Avoid perfectionism, which often paralyzes action. Taking imperfect steps consistently is far more productive than waiting for ideal conditions. Execution allows learning from real-world feedback, which is necessary to refine strategies and accelerate growth. Persistence overcomes hesitation and transforms intention into achievement. Use time wisely by breaking goals into structured actions. For example, allocate specific periods for research, outreach, creation, and evaluation. Structured daily routines prevent wasted time, ensure consistent progress, and make every day purposeful in advancing wealth objectives. Leverage technology to enhance persistence. Tools for task management, automation, tracking, and reminders reduce friction and maintain consistency. Technology enables daily actions to occur with precision, clarity, and efficiency, making persistence less mentally taxing. Commit to long-term vision. Understand that wealth is rarely created overnight. Daily actions accumulate, and visible results may take time. Maintaining focus on long-term outcomes reduces discouragement during early stages and reinforces the habit of persistent effort. Real-life application strengthens habit formation. Every day offers opportunities to practice action, whether through financial decisions, skill building, outreach, or investment activities. Treat each day as a building block, and small, consistent actions accumulate into significant wealth over months and years. Evaluate and refine strategies continuously. Persistent action is not mindless repetition. It involves observing results, analyzing effectiveness, and adjusting approaches as necessary. This iterative process increases efficiency, prevents wasted effort, and ensures momentum translates into meaningful outcomes. Develop resilience against distractions and procrastination. Recognize triggers that lead to delay or avoidance and implement strategies to maintain focus. Habitual persistence strengthens the ability to prioritize action over comfort, entertainment, or short-term gratification. Understand the compounding effect of consistent action. Small, regular steps accumulate into substantial results that exceed the impact of occasional intensive efforts. Persistence multiplies over time, creating exponential growth in skills, income, and opportunities. Build accountability rituals such as daily reflection, journaling, or progress tracking. Reviewing accomplishments reinforces habits, identifies gaps, and strengthens motivation. Rituals transform persistence into an ingrained, sustainable behavior that drives long-term wealth creation. Engage with like-minded individuals who prioritize consistent effort. Surrounding yourself with people who act daily toward their goals reinforces behavior, provides support, and encourages accountability. Collective persistence magnifies individual results and creates an environment where action is normalized and celebrated. By committing to daily, disciplined, and purposeful action, individuals convert knowledge, ideas, and plans into tangible results. Persistence is the bridge between intention and achievement, compounding effort into measurable wealth over time. The daily practice of taking action cultivates resilience, skill, and momentum, ultimately producing lasting financial freedom and the ability to capitalize on opportunities that others miss.